Hey, hey, hey. All right, we're here for back, biceps, and shoulders. Let's get right to it. Already warmed up, ready to go. Make sure you come in here warmed up. Opening of the back. I took a resistance band. I did some the back and shoulders nice and open. I like to prioritize a good warm up for back because we spend so much of our life hunched over with rounded shoulders. This is all about bringing them shoulders back, improving posture, keeping the core nice and engaged, keeping the integrity of the movements while working progressive overload, aka just trying to get stronger in some way, lifting more volume, lifting more reps, more sets, that kind of thing. All right, so I want you to grab your standard bent over row weights. We've got single arm bent over rows. I'll be using my bench for those. We've got our reverse fly weight that you'll need. We've got lat raising weight that you'll need, bicep curl weight, and overhead pressing. So a good variety would be awesome. You could also get by with doing this whole workout with just dumbbells. If you don't have a bench, just have a chair, wall, something to support you. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and slide this. I'm actually going to be using that 30. My goal is to eventually progress to a 50-pound dumbbell if I can. Would love that. Love, love, love that. Sorry, I'm gonna hit you back in a minute when I get this music up. We're gonna kick things off with our single arm bent over rows. 4 sets of those. We've got 3 sets of everything else. We're super going from one side to the next. All right, so we can just keep it flowing. We don't need a whole lot of recovery there. Let's see. Superset number 2, I'm going to change my bench to an incline. You can perform the moves standing with a slight hinge if you do not have a bench today. And then tricep coming in at the end. Cool? Let's talk about proper bent over rowing position. So I see a lot of people coming all the way down like this, pulling all the way up. And essentially what you want to do is stay nice and static all throughout the movement. So as square as you can get those shoulders, take that hinge position. This is why you've got a bench or some sort of support nearby. I've got my outside leg wide enough so it doesn't compromise the path in which the weight will travel. All right, so I don't want to be too far up here, creating a weird angle or a lean or something. I just want my wrist to be basically directly below my shoulder. All right, so I want to come down and I want to pull basically back and up. Notice how I'm keeping the integrity of the movement even if I'm going for that heavier weight selection. All right, so we're looking for 8 to 12 reps here. All I ask is obviously you match whatever reps you're doing on one side with the other. All right, so if you're pushing 12 or going for 8 with a heavy weight like a PR, you got to do the same thing on the other side. That's unilateral. And what I'll say about movements like bent over rows and chest presses and squats, you can't be putting strict numbers or ceilings, like you can't put limitations on the amount of weight that you think you can lift for movements like this. Because when we think logically, what we're able to do with our body weight, if you could do a regular body weight push-up from the toes, hell, even like weighted push-ups, there's no reason why you can't go heavy on a bench or dumbbell chest press. You're able to push up your own body weight. Think of how much you weigh. All right. If you're getting any assisted pull-ups with, slight support or slight resistance, that means you're very, very close to pulling up your body weight. So what's your body weight? I mean, if you divide that in half, there's no reason why you can't progress to a 50, a 40, a 60, whatever. Stop putting a number to what you think you can do weight-wise. Because your body is going to, or your mind will quit before your body quits. Your mind will prevent you from even going for it if you let it. Start to think about your tempo. Are you keeping the integrity of the movement? Where is the path in which your dumbbell is traveling? What's your angle? Quick little shake out, but I'm going to keep flowing right through. I'm just going to keep going. If you've got to rest, get confident and comfortable resting anywhere from 60 to 120 seconds in between. All right, depending on what you need. So good. Same thing with your lat pull downs, guys. Those of you who are able to make it to the gym and work on things like progressing on pull-ups or stringing more pull-ups together, make sure you are able to lat pull down very close to your own body weight to see, beforehand, how many times you should, on paper, be able to perform a strict pull-up. And I will say this too, it took me an embarrassing amount of time to really grasp proper engagement, like properly engaging the lats, for example, properly engaging the upper glutes or lower glutes over the quads. I used to be very quad dominant. So learning proper angles, learning the right engagement, the right mind to muscle connection, feet placement, angles, the path in which your weight should travel, all of this can get complex. So do not think that it may take you months, it may take you years. The point is, at some point, you'll begin to master fewer movements. You don't need to be perfect at hundreds of exercises. If you can work to improve your form, your movement quality, and your compound lifts, you will be successful in body comp change. You will be successful. You're going to see these movements every single week anyway. Why not focus and work on specifically how to improve? Checking on your engagement in the lats, Are you checking on your tempo? Are you lifting heavier over time? That kind of thing. I'm picking up this 50 with no expectations on completing the 8 to 12 reps. I'm just gonna see how far I can get with it. But I know not going for it will feel like a regret for me. All right, awesome sauce. Let's move over to superset number 2. Going literally from a 50 down to like 8. We've got our reverse fly. And then we're going right into a seated Y. So standing hinge is fine. If you do not have access to a bench, again, 8 to 12 rep range. Whew. All right, little breather. Here we go, same thing. Now, you definitely do not have to be married to a set number of reps every single time, okay? The goal is to try to make some progression unless we're drop setting. Unless we're drop setting and then you're reducing the volume, but increasing the overall intensity by stretching reps. So even drop sets are there for a reason, for that lateral progression, and it's just a different type of work. But obviously sets number 1 and 2 are going to look different from that third and so on. That third set, fourth set, fifth set. Your reps are going to start to slow down. You're going to start to get fatigued. That's the nature of getting through reps 1, 2, and 3 in sets 1, 2. So if you're fatiguing to the point where you don't want to reduce the weight, but you can't keep up with the reps that you completed in the first couple sets. That's okay. That's why you have a range. But the goal is to get to that point where you're only leaving a few reps in the tank as opposed to 5, 6, or 7. So good. Oh, also remember too, you can make progressions using isometric holds, pulses, changes in your tempo only. You don't just have to increase your weight or reps. Let me just make sure this pitch is in frame. Tricep time. Overhead presses. We're going to start there. We're going to move into bicep curls, and then we've got our seated lat raises. So keep your lightweight nearby. All right, I think I'm going to kick things off with 20s. The goal is 10 reps each. So I might progress to these 30s for overhead presses, depending on how these first couple sets go, but we'll see. Now remember, only you can really determine how hard you're working. Nobody's going to know if you're leaving reps in the tank and just not working as hard as you could be. You're truly the only person that's going to know it. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Because everybody's out there looking for accountability. Looking. I need that accountability. I need to make sure somebody's telling me to show up. I need the accountability. Guess what? You and you alone are the only person who knows if you're showing up, giving it 50%, giving it 80%, or giving it 100%. Your coach isn't going to know. You could lie. You could lie to your coach. There is nothing keeping my clients from showing up and lying to me. But there's a mutual trust. There's a mutual understanding in that relationship. You give me honesty, I can give you the feedback that you need. If you're not honest, I can't do a goddamn thing for you. So if you are honest with you, if you can look inside and say, am I honestly showing up and giving it 100? Or am I giving it the same 50 that I've given everything else in my life every other time? What is for real? What is true? You and you alone will know and clear that up. And guess what? People will lie to themselves before they ever tell a lie to somebody else. Let that sink in. Two down, one to go. Two down, one to go. Say two down, one to go. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. All right, this is your last real opportunity to train to failure, preferably in a compound lift, overhead presses. Let's find that last bit of challenge. Let's make sure you can't look back on this workout and say, if only I gave it a little bit more, if only I had given it 100, not left so many reps in the tank, etc., etc. Let's normalize looking back with pride, even if you fail at something, rather than the regret of just not knowing. Regret sucks. Woo! Last 10, best 10. Here we go. big question mark. Those last 3 reps were a big question mark. All right, that's exactly how you want to feel after a workout well spent. That's 30 minutes of time well spent. Getting stronger, building your confidence, building your positive body image. Now you can go tackle all of the other hard things you have to tackle today because you just did one. Go hydrate, eat, stretch, move. Slay the rest of your day. I'll see you next time.